wasn't meaning to do another car chat whilst driving per se, but I have a busy schedule this evening, so rather than trying to carve out some time later, I'm going to try to do this as I'm leaving the studio now, making my way home. So the topic came to me just as I was on my way to class earlier as to what it is that I think we should chat about today. And it's always going to be what I think we should chat about, guys, unless you actually start to put some comments in the comment section or reach out to me and let me know what other topics you want to discuss. So for now, I'm still riding solo dolo, so it's just me that's going to come up with the topics at hand, and hopefully you will enjoy. So today's topic, on holistic coaching in the car is about the sweetness of doing nothing, or as we would like to say in Italiano, dolce far niente. The sweetness of doing nothing, zero, stingy with Demira. I'm just kidding. The beauty, the sweetness of life when you are doing nothing. It is something that we don't talk about enough in the West, even though Italia is a part of the West. And maybe the newer generations in Italia are still sort of like, maybe the new generations in Italia might be more susceptible, we'll say, or inclined to work like some of the English-speaking countries, 3-4 jobs all the time, yada yada yada. They might be. Older generations, I can tell you, we're not about that life. I mean, most culturally speaking, right? Very generally, but culturally speaking, in Italia, there is this undercurrent of family life and the enjoyment of life, the pursuit of the enjoyment of life, the comforts in life, the quality of life, the sweetness of life. There's an undercurrent that these things are the things that are valuable. Family time, time with loved ones, time doing the things that we enjoy, leisure time, holiday time, etc., etc. All of these things are extremely important in Italia in a way that, to me, I've just not seen emulated in the West, meaning not Italia, meaning sort of the more English-speaking countries, because that's really what I have experience in outside of Italia and Eritrea, right? So in Italia, this concept of dolce far niente is about being able to enjoy doing nothing, not always needing to be in pursuit of or chasing something, a dollar, a man, a job, any of that stuff. It simply is a time when you're not doing any of that. You are still. And being still, by the way, I should state, is very different from, like just lounging around on the sofa. Being still, being present means this is time that you've carved out for self-reflection, for recruiting your energy, the energy that you have that you've not expended, towards healing, right? Which is something that happens in real time in our lives day to day. When you hold enough time in your day for you to have an opportunity to replenish, top up, cultivate more energy, whether it be just sitting in quiet and solitude, sitting in a garden, hugging a tree, or walking meditation, such as walking through a park or a forest, maybe even barefoot so you can ground yourself. If not a beach, any natural environment will do, so long as it's not toxic and natural. Any of these things will harness your energy, your power, your ability to do anything in life, from being able to calm yourself down, to self-soothe and cope, to procreate if you're having fertility issues, to healing and reversing dis-ease in the body. All of that can literally happen and is available to you when you know how to not tap yourself out fully. Even in my yoga classes, when I'm telling students, you don't need to flow. It really is an option. If you're tapping out, my preference is that you don't flow. Because if you're doing a chaturanga and you're tired, you become susceptible to injury. You're not breathing correctly, you might not be as contained in the muscular musculoskeletal system, so you become susceptible to doing something incorrectly. Moving incorrectly over time can build faulty patterns in the body, which will eventually lead to injury if you don't automatically get an injury from jump, from just not holding yourself upright and holding your posture and containing the muscles of the skeleton and the skeleton in their space and time when they're supposed to be held, such as chaturanga. That's a good time to hold your muscles and your skeleton, no? So just this concept of being not just okay, not being fine, but actually looking forward to and loving a time and a space that you've carved out for you to do all. Nothing but be still. So you're not in front of telly, you're not in front of a device. This is not mindless entertainment. This is not that. This is you literally sitting with yourself in discomfort, because most of us are seeking entertainment or a distraction, such as scrolling through our phones, precisely for that reason, because we don't want to sit with self. But I'm telling you, as a reminder also to me, that to sit with self, I might make that the name of this holistic card chat today. You guys let me know what you think. Sitting with self is ultimately how you get to take care of yourself in a way that is so profound, that is so much more meaningful than when you say, oh, I'm going to go to the spa today and get myself a mani-pedi, get myself a massage, get myself a yoga class. All this stuff is important and it matters, of course, and it adds to your skill set and to your tools as a person that is restoring wellness, health, etc., to the mind, body, and the soul. All of this stuff matters, and yet it's still not enough. It's still important that you have some time to train in, to sit with your feelings, to also direct your breath and energy, your vitality, to parts of you that are in need of revitalization, of regeneration, of just new life, basically. You can get to all of that in the time that you choose to spend alone with yourself, without distraction, without electronics nearby, without food being chewed or consumed. This is about truly being still and not fidgeting, and that is really challenging. I know, because one of my passions as a yoga teacher is teaching the yin style of yoga, which is very much about being still, holding an uncomfortable shape, sitting with it, confronting yourself in that space, because when there's nothing else to think about or plan, all you have is you to look at, to tend to deal with, to make peace with. And this is so crucial when it comes to our overall health, happiness, and our ability to produce and achieve our goals, our dreams, our legacy. Whatever it is that you're driving towards or moving towards, that requires you to have clarity, patience, energy, and a plan. All of that can come to you. Well, the planning shouldn't come to you when you're with self, because this is really not about busying your mind. This is really about, again, harnessing and cultivating energy, power, vitality, life force. And that is done when you can just be still. When your mind is racing, that's a yang property element. That means that you're using up energy. When you're chewing or consuming, that's also you taking out of your body, right? Well, it's also putting nutrition in. But when the digestive system kicks in, you're harnessing that energy to break down the food, as opposed to going in and repairing something, a muscle tear, a tumor, whatever that you want to address, right? You need energy to do that. And that energy you're able to harness and send to those parts of the body, mind, or emotions that need it when you can just be still, not be busy. So the sweetness of doing nothing in turn becomes the sweetness of giving you your whole entire life back. I know my hair looks crazy, doesn't it? It really does. Thankfully, I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. these like little kinks in my hair where my hair will just like, whoo, just take a turn, because I have naturally curly hair and I think that it wants to curl when it gets wet because of sweat, moisture, etc. And then it can't curl, so it'll just do something weird. Like it'll try to curl and then it'll just kink. Anyways, forgive me. Tangent. But back to dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. I learned about this concept. I should have been reminded because of my birthplace in Italia, but I've not lived in Italia for many years now. So I've adopted a lot of the tendencies and the culture and the norms of the West, which is about, staying busy, staying productive, like sleeping is for when you're dead, resting is for when you're dead, whilst you're here, just achieve, do. And that in America is something that is very much at the forefront of everyone's sort of thoughts and mind, because this is a land that will give you nothing for the most part. Like, it will give you nothing for free. Everything you have to work for, you have to earn, you have to fight for the most part. There are miracles, of course, that happen all the time, and the universe is consistently abundant and providing for us. So I don't want to disregard that, because that is a huge part of it. At the same time, as a person with an ego who has her own aspirations and desires, right? And my desires include a certain level of success in my career, a certain amount of financial freedom and independence, a certain amount of being able to self-soothe and calm myself, right? And heal myself. I want to be the expert of me. Everyone else is a coach. I'm the coach. When it comes to my wellness journey, I'm the coach. I'm the coach. But I have others, i.e. a doctor or my yoga mentors or teachers or practitioners or mentors or health coaches. All of these other people are team members that join my team, but they do not necessarily guide or lead my team. That's for me to do, right? In my marriage, I'm happy to be led by my husband. Is that TMI? Too much info? For some, maybe. But for myself, like when it comes to my own health, I want to be the leader. I want to be the coach. I want to know that I'm the expert of me and I know what's best for me. And the best way for me to do that is for me to spend time with self, by myself. The same applies to all of you that are watching and listening to this video now. It's come to you at a time when you probably are needing it most. The universe is divine that way. Divine is not really the word. She knows how to have a hoot, I tell you. She knows that when you make a plan, it's best that she lets you know who's really in charge. And that when you need to heal yourself, or you're looking for a teacher or a guru or a help person, the right video or the right podcast will appear right when it's supposed to. See, she's always working, which is wild, which is why it makes it even that much more horrible that we are consistently disregarding her and telling ourselves that we have to do X, Y, and Z because she otherwise will not bring us what we need or want or desire or heal us if we catch a certain respiratory virus that seemingly is going around. Anyways, I think most of you are picking up what I'm putting down. My point is, you will not have the ability to be the expert on yourself, the best person to guide everyone else who's supposed to support your healing journey around you if you do not spend time with yourself. If you don't go inside to discover what's going on with you, if you don't speak to your soul, to your ancestors, to your DNA, who else is going to tell you what's wrong with you or what needs repair? You think a machine is going to do that? Maybe to some degree, to some extent. And is a machine going to also cure it and heal it? Probably not likely. Not in a way that's life-affirming. Even if it seemingly is giving you the result that you're looking for in the short to medium term, in the long term, it probably will lead you to something else or give you other problems. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what I mean, I'll spell it out for you. You know, chemo and radiation might be forms of treating cancer. But when you attack the body in such a vicious way, and your cells in such a vicious way, that you're literally killing them and killing tissue and other organic matter in and around the site that is in need of healing, everything in the body is, you know, is cause effect. Everything is action consequence. Because the body is governed by universal law. Given that we live in the universe, we are all subjected to those laws, right? It's all cause and effect. Yang, yin, hot, cold, high, low, you know, so there is polarity and duality in everything. So the same quote unquote machinery or medicine that seemingly is giving you the results, I won't say heal, because even doctors themselves will tell you that they're not healers. Allopathic medicine does not really pretend to be a practice of healing. You know, it's a practice of mitigating symptoms. If you really want to heal yourself, you're going to have to speak the language of the body. You're going to have to speak with cells, with muscles, with glands, with DNA. And the only way to do that is to go inside of yourself, to communicate with yourself on a cellular level. The only way to achieve that is through meditation, through silence, through observation, you know, through careful breath work, through careful movement, because moving meditation will also allow for you to go deeper and to connect and to get the messaging that you're seeking. To summarize and end, you know, because I've kind of been telling you the same thing using different language and from different angles, the point is, it really is time for all of us to tap into to pull a joy or more. Hello, this is strictly a joy or more. I'm not taking credit for this. Hello, girl. Are you there? Are you listening? I love it when she does that personally. It's not a job. It's not shade, because I love it when she does it, which is why copycatting is the greatest form of flattery. Hello. Just kidding. But yeah, you get me, yeah? So it really is just about like tapping into this other side of us, which, yes, as much as we want to be productive, there's a side of us that sometimes also wants to do nothing. Now, couple that, or rather add to that, an element of non-distraction, because not doing anything, like I said to you earlier on, is not the same as being still in silence and with self. Don't think that you sitting in front of the telly and giving yourself a day of binge watching telly is the same as being introspective, reflective, quiet. No, that requires, I told you, discomfort. Because none of us want to sit with our thoughts. The best way to get comfortable with sitting with those thoughts so that we're no longer our own enemies. Stop dealing with everything else and the other distractions. Get to you. You are avoiding you. I am avoiding me. Why? Why are we avoiding ourselves? It is time, if we're serious about changing the cycle in which we've been living in, and we want to see a different level of success, a different level of relationship that we're in, or a level of relationship that we want to attract if you're a single person. If you want to be outside of the circle that you have experienced in terms of your travel, in terms of your friend groups, in terms of access to things, places, money, whatever, you have to do things differently. So why not try this? You know what it means to work hard and busy yourself. Can you also now begin to practice in an effort to master at some point? And believe me, it takes years and decades, which is why the monks turn it into a lifelong path. And quiet, sitting with you, making peace with the same person, soul, entity that you've been trying so hard to avoid. Busying yourself with everything but being with self. So, how about we give that a go? So challenge, if you want to take it, listeners, viewers, yogis, tikkunas, anonymous people watching this, who have not yet subscribed, but should, go ahead. Challenge yourself this week. Sit 2 minutes every single day for the next 7 days in complete silence and solitude. 2 days. No telly, no food, no distractions. In fact, next week when I return for holistic chats in the car, I will tell you how I've done. I will report to you, and hopefully you'll be reporting to me. So drop your comments below in the description box. Communicate with me because I read every single comment, and I want to know how you're doing and how you found it. So until next week, I'm going to bid you adieu. Have an amazing week, one that's filled with 2-minute breaks where you can just be with self, where you can harness your energy, where you can send your energy wherever you need it. Is it the womb, the uterus that needs it? Is it your heart? Is it your throat? Are you struggling with speaking your truth, saying what you mean, meaning what you say? Wherever you are having challenges, pick a place to send your breath to, your attention to. My advice, if you want it as your licensed holistic lifestyle coach, corrective exercise coach, and overall wellness person, if you want it, it is preferable that you work from the bottom up, meaning deal with your bottom chakras. So your root, your base, right? Your solar, etc. Make your way up. Your sacred, all of that. Work your way up. Go from the bottom up, just like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's best to address the foundational stuff because it's really hard to build anything great when your foundation is not solid. So meaning if you feel like you're not feeling, so to apply an example to this would be, let me not be idling, because I'm home now, thankfully. For instance, like if you are struggling with security, with finances, for instance, right? That's what's giving you anxiety, and you don't want to sit still because you're uncomfortable and your mind is going to take you to finances. Then start to breathe and work on harnessing energy in the root chakra, because all of our security issues kind of sit in that space. When the root chakra is not settled, everything else builds upon it, right? So when the root chakra is not settled, it means that we're genuinely not feeling like we're in a space that's safe where we can thrive. And you can't do anything in that space, so you need to address that. If you're suffering with heartache, then you're going to focus your energy up here. But the other chakras underneath your heart should already be settled too, right? That's why I say, if you're unsure, always start at the bottom. But if you know that something else is needing your attention straight away, go to that place. If it's your heart, your throat, your third eye, what have you. But just know that ultimately, you're only going to really get to the meat of everything, all the other chakras that are above the root chakra when you've dealt with the root chakra. So just make sure that that's sorted out. Okay, I hope that that's been beneficial for you, that you'll take it, that you'll keep me posted. I know I'm going to be practicing this week, and I look forward to tuning my report card into you. Until next week, guys. Bye.